I'm the spiritual leader here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Los Angeles. I want to welcome each and every one of you here with us today, whether you're here in person or you're watching us online. Let's say hello to everyone watching us online. And invite you into our home here at 1200 North La Brea. We're all excited about this being our home, and as you can see, I've set the chairs up a little different today. We've now found the setup that we like so that we can have some open space, because last week we were out of seats. We've put extra seats in, and as metaphysical practitioners, we envision those seats filled with people that's filled with love and light and expressing themselves to the world, just like each and every one of you, right? Amen. Oh, I love that. So we welcome you here today. As I said, we're a metaphysical community, which means that we believe there's only one power in the universe. Matters not what you call it. It just matters that you do call it. And as you do call it, you're developing a mindset or a consciousness that reflects that one power. And in so doing, your life benefits. We welcome all sizes, all shapes, all colors, all sexual orientation, all sexual expressions, all beings of life and all expressions of who they are, and celebrate them living their fullest life. Not only about you, but to me, that resonates about the way spiritual life should be, and actually the way humanity should be. Would you guys agree with that? Yeah. Good. So as our beloved Dr. David Walker used to say to all of us on Sunday, we welcome one and welcome all. I love it. You guys said it with me. Let's say it together. We welcome one and welcome all. So we open our service every Sunday morning with a ritual. And it's a ritual that gives us the opportunity to anchor ourselves into the being of the divine, that which we are, to just get clear and grounded in this space, meaning that no matter what took place prior to this very moment, I spoke about the magnetism of now last week, to this very moment, we let it go and just center ourselves into it. It's a ritual that takes us through with song, with some reading, with lighting of candles, and with you're doing a call and response with our musicians. For the ritual itself, we have our practitioner of the day take us through that. That's Reverend Lenore Edney. And our illuminator is one of our board members today, Matt Fonda. Before we move into that, and you guys can come on up if you like. There's a candle called the healing candle that we light every Sunday morning. And we ask that you put someone in that may be going through challenges in their life, and or you would like to have them experience the healing light of God. In our philosophy and our teaching, we believe that the healing light of God is not bound by any physical presence, and it's not bound by any physical location. We have with us this morning, as we often do, one of our beloved longtime members, Jim Wasson. And Jim's long time partner and husband, Jack Cahill, passed away recently. And Jim's having a challenge with that this morning. I'd like for us to just not only hold him in the light, but just send energy to Jim and to Jack and let them know that we love them. We always have and we always will. And that we trust that wherever Jack is on this plane of action, he's continuing to send his love back to his longtime beloved partner and husband. And that you have the strength to get through this, Jim. And we're here to support you with that every possible way that we can. And we're going to begin that by doing this ritual this morning. Just know that we love you. Okay?
Calling in the light. Calling in the light, calling in the light of love, calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light of love.
And today we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all sentient beings come from that one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religions. all religious thought and all experience, which is what we honor today. So as Matt lights the first candle, it is lit for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. The second candle is illuminated for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. And Matt illuminates the fourth candle. It is lit for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. The fifth candle is lit for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. The sixth candle is lit for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness, which is also known as the path of love. Matt lights the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. The ninth candle is lit for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And as Matt lights the 10th candle, the healing candle, I invite you to take a moment and think of anyone you would like silently to put into the light of healing flame to experience the eternal and everlasting love of the divine. And I'm asking that we put Jim and Jack centered into that light, knowing what they are is spirit, that animation, that force that is only love.
I am love. I am peace. In my heart, I am free. I am spirit. I am soul. All together, we are whole, calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light of love, calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light of love. And so it is.
And so it is. And so it is.
So it is.
And I invite you to keep your eyes closed or not, and just take these words in. The beauty and the joy that is the divine, the wisdom, the love, the peace that is the divine, is made manifest right here in this room as each one of us. That power, that isness, that allness, that oneness that is the divine. We are here in that oneness. We are that which is this oneness. So I know as I speak these words, I speak them for each and every person, present and not present, that this life that flows in and through us is spirit. No matter how it looks, no matter what it reveals, it's all love, it's all peace. And we hold that to be true for Jim and for Jack. We allow that which is sorrow to be expressed. We allow that which is happiness to be expressed. It is life, it is spirit itself, desiring to be expressed. And we hold and we love and we honor both Jim and Jack for that which was made manifest by the two of them, love. You can't call it anything else but that which it already is. So, and as we go forward from this day, we are in that place that is peace, that is love. It is ours today to show up as peace, as love. Gladly, we are unfolding. Spirit is expressing as us. And we say yes to the next unfoldment. We accept our good. We accept this center, this place where we come to be reminded of what it is we truly are, spirit. We accept the good for this center. We accept its abundance. We accept its love generating outward. That's what we do here. So in thanksgiving for Reverend Dr. Keith, our spiritual leader, in thanksgiving for our musicians, in thanksgiving for each and every person on the board, in thanksgiving for those who set up, in thanksgiving for our ministers, for our practitioners, we're sitting pretty darn pretty. We call it good. We release this word into that action that is the law, happening right here and right now, and together we say, and so it is.
Thank you, Reverend Lenore. Thank you, my dear. Beautiful. Thank you, Matt. What a beautiful spiritual mind treatment, honoring the life of your beloved and you and life itself. So thank you so very much. Thank you very much. So our musician this morning, our guest musician, the age-old statement that I always use for him is a soul brother from a different mother. We have a long, rich history, but I don't want to speak to you specifically about my history with Jamie this morning. I want to speak to you about Jamie's history. Jamie is a legend in the metaphysical music field. He has sung around the world. We've been together in Australia. I just had a flashback of that at the Parliament of World Religions. He's been around the world sharing his message, his gift, his talent. He brings a real soulful aspect to music itself, but certainly in taking our philosophy and our teaching and crafting it in a way that has a deep imprint on people that, no matter their age. I've known him to be at teen camp over the years, both prior to integration, post-integration, and certainly to ages way beyond teenagers. He has made an indelible mark on the countless lives of people in this movement, and he is worthy of all the love and the grace and the greatness that anyone can bestow on him and to him. So I want you to know that this just isn't a dude that's walking up here with a guitar and a loud shirt and a bald head singing to you. He's someone who has committed his life, actually, to this teaching and this philosophy. And we're blessed for having him here with us today, and I'm certainly blessed to know him as my soul brother. Welcome to the Bema, Jamie Lula, along with Andy Ballard.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel seen. I don't know how many of us feel seen. I was telling Andy earlier, I left the world, more of the secular world, bars and stuff. I'm sober for a really long time and just kind of got tired of performing in bars and stuff. And got to Agape and realized that this is what I wanted to write about. People having a spiritual experience, spiritual beings having a human experience. And I'm one of those. And this particular song came about one morning in a meditation where I woke up, and I know none of you will relate, but I woke up and my head was telling me, you get fat and you're losing your hair, and oh God, you're getting old and all that stuff. And out of that meditation and sitting in front of my altar, which had a mirror on it, because someone at one point told me that I needed to put a mirror on my altar, and I looked into that mirror and I began affirming this, and this song came out. Na 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 na. You're not bad, you're not selfish, you're not ugly, you're not broken, damaged, or dysfunctional. You're not the things you tell yourself you are, not the opinions of others or old scars, because you are the light of the world. Yes, you are the light of the world. Make a joyful noise unto the Spirit of your life. Make a joyful noise unto the Spirit of your life. Na 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 na. You're not stupid, lazy, you're not fat or too thin. You're not a big mouth, a crybaby. You're not a bully or original sin. You're not the things you tell yourself you are, not the opinions of others or old scars, because you are the light of the world. Oh yes, you are. You are the light of the world. Make a joyful noise unto the Spirit of your life. Make a joyful noise unto the Spirit of your life. Make a joyful noise unto the Spirit of your life. Make a joyful noise unto the Spirit. 'Cause I'm gonna love you, make my heart your home. And I'm gonna love you when you feel alone. And I'm gonna love you when your blues creep in. And I'm gonna love you until the end and start all over again, because you are the light sing it with me. You are the light of the world. Turn and sing it to your neighbor. Come on. You are the light of the world. Turn and sing it to another neighbor. Come on. You are the light of the world. Sing it to yourself. I am the light. I am the light of the world. One more time. I am the light of the world. Make a joyful noise now, people. Make a joyful noise unto the Spirit of your life. Come on. Make a joyful noise unto the Spirit of your life. Make a joyful noise unto the Spirit of your life. Can I hear you sing? Make a joyful noise unto the Spirit of your life. Make a joyful noise. Come on and sing out loud. Make a joyful noise. Oh, make a joyful noise. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Make a joyful noise unto the Spirit of your life. Make a joyful noise unto the Spirit of your life. Make a joyful noise unto the Spirit of your life. Make a joyful noise unto the Spirit, unto God's Spirit as your life. Andy Belling.
Jamie Lula and Andy Belling. Hello, you. We're going to need to move this. So, who in the room has a morning routine? Well, my morning routine is I get up, I drink lots of water, and then I make some hot tea, and I make a pitcher, and I get that ready, and I get that, and I head out the door as I did this past Friday morning with my four-legged spiritual offspring, Sadie, in tow, and we go off for our morning walk. And this past Friday morning, I popped my earbuds in. I got ready for my morning meditation that I listened to as I'm walking, and we made it down my street and turned around the corner to the street that my friends and loved ones and neighbors who are here this morning are on. And sometimes we meet dogs and critters and creatures, and sometimes we don't. And as I turned the corner on Friday, I hear in my ear the gentleman guiding the meditation, I offer my light to everyone. I offer my light to everyone. And he said, say this with me. I offer my light to everyone. And no more than 15 steps later, I came upon this woman that I see occasionally on my morning walks, and she's a housekeeper standing in front of the house that she works at. This wonderful woman is always smiling. She speaks mostly in Spanish. I don't really understand a lot of what she says. Clearly, she doesn't understand a lot of what I said. And she reached down and was grabbing Sadie's cheeks, and sweet little Sadie was letting her grab her cheeks. And she asked me in her broken, not even English at that point, in Spanish, how old was Sadie? I didn't know that's what she was saying. And I said to her, no habla español. And she roughly responded to me and said, how old is she? And poked to Sadie. Down and looked at her. And I looked at her and I told her what the lady Sadie's age is. Well, we know we don't disclose a lady's age. And she smiled and pointed to Sadie's gray snout, and a big smile on her face, pointed back to her head and said, me too, implying that she has gray on her head. And I looked at her, I said, me too, on my beard. And we both chuckled and nodded. And as I turned to walk away, she said quite simply, I love you. I kept walking, a little taken aback that she had just said to me, "I love you," in English. And yet, at the same time, I was so surprised and empowered. As I got to the end of the street, I stopped and just allowed myself to bathe in the energy of the words that had come out of this beloved woman who was sharing love, and in her broken English, yet quite distinctive and understandable to me, and I'm assuming both to Sadie, she was sharing her light to me. Within 15 steps of my declaring to the universe that I offer my light to everyone, that vibrated out into the universe to someone I don't know at a human level, but I know her at a place beyond humanity. She returned that love, that light, right back to me. And in that moment, I was emblazoned and I was empowered to remember that my job in life is indeed to offer my light to everyone, which is the same for each and every one of us. That what we teach in this teaching and what I spoke about last week about the magnetism of now is that the principle of life is not bound by precedent. We've heard that before, but this was a living example of when we consciously align ourselves with our divine nature and feel secure in who we are as a divine being, which really requires nothing but being open to it and then declaring it, that the response can be and oftentimes is immediate. The question is, how often does that immediacy of the return of that which we've put out come back to us and we're not ready for it? We have some expectation that it's going to take 45 minutes or 4 days or 45 years for that which we've put out to the universe to return to us. What she was telling me in that moment is that the light, which is a quality of the divine that she on some level knew existed within her, whether she was conscious of it or not. That she was reflecting back to me that which I had given to her, and as she gave it to me, I was reflecting it back to her, and Sadie was doing the same. I reveled in this experience and this exchange that we had had, remembering that over the last couple of weeks, I've been speaking to each and every one of you about the concept of healing. Not just in the physical sense of healing the body, but the mental, emotional healing that is called forth to each and every one of us. And the way that that transpires and takes place is by us tending to our mind and our heart and our soul and our being. It's by focusing on our divine nature that we speak about here every Sunday, so often referring to it as the qualities of the divine to which light is. I came home from this amazing exchange and I thoroughly enjoyed my meditation, and we walked both light as a feather as we went on our long walk. Sometimes Sadie's tongue was longer and wider than mine because she needed water, but we continued floating in this exchange of the energy of the divine. I was able to look at the world from a new perspective and got home, and what immediately popped up on my Facebook page was a link from someone that said this: light isn't religion. It's an energy becoming so obvious that its invitation is instantaneous. What I remembered in that very moment, at a very deep level, both conscious and at a subconscious level, is that that is indeed our role in life, to live in the light of the divine. And the only way that we can live in the light of the divine is if we choose to focus and allow the light of the divine that lives within us, as Jamie just sang about, to express itself through us and illuminate the pathway before us, so that that which we see is a reflection of that which we are giving. We live in a universe that its nature is not to receive so that we get to give. We live in a universe that its nature is to give so that we may receive. This morning, it's my intention and my goal to have us take a new perspective in our life, to letting go of everything that was and choosing to give to ourselves not only permission but instruction, a demand, if you will, a declaration, if you will, to become more and more and more aware of the light that exists within us. That which isn't bound by the plane of earth that we know. It's not bound by the physical life that we know. It's not bound by the human body that it exists within us. And yet we have the opportunity by using our mental power to feel that that light is to use our mind to see that light within us, in our physical body, in our being, and then consciously, let me do this to the woman in the back. When you guys do that to Angel, I see it. It's a little odd for me. I think you're doing it to me. And so let's take that light that is within us and visually see it rising up and expressing it out to those before us. We say here as our vision statement that we are here to find our personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. What that requires of us is to commit in our mind and our heart and our soul and our being to live from a perspective of bringing our light to the world. As we each choose to offer to bring our light to the world, it's important for us to know that the objective of this is to then live in a world where the effect is of greater lightness and of a broader and bigger energy. To remember that as we do that, as we offer our light to the world, we no longer have the responsibility of the attempt or the need to illuminate the world before us. It simply will become illumined as a result of that which we've chosen to give from ourselves to ourselves. That's not a human exchange, it's a divine exchange. And as a result of that, we will then get to live from a place of generosity by bringing more light and love, and as we also know, peace and power and beauty and wisdom to the world. We all know in life, and I know that you will agree with me, that as we commit to living a life of finding our personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening, we are indeed living from an evolved, awakened consciousness. Would you guys agree with that? We would. And what takes place when we do that is we know deeper and deeper and deeper in our souls that innately and inherently we are not alone as we journey the pathway of life. In our philosophy and in our teaching, we speak oftentimes about oneness. And I say that that's a fantastic thing for us to talk about, the oneness. And yet that is a massive concept to comprehend. Would you not agree that that's a massive concept to comprehend and understand that everything is one activity taking place? And it's hard to grasp that at times because what appears to be the case is that everything we experience and engage in life seems to be separate. It seems to have a dividing line between the oneness of life that exists and that which we are living from or living with or living as. What's important for us to know that as we offer our light to the world, as we offer our divinity to the world, we declare that we're not only in this experience and this life together, but this sharing that we have at the human level is actually transcending the experience of the thing that we're giving. That we're giving from that which is transcendent of it, and yet as we consciously align ourselves and consciously give more and more of it, at all times the power that is creating the experience is transcendent of that which it is creating. Does that make sense? Good. So what is important for us then to do is to know that as we get to experience that which is transcendent of itself, even though we experience it in form, is to consciously and commit to knowing that we're all connected at a place that is beyond the experience of life itself. That we are indeed one. Say with me, we are one. We are one. This is true. It's a spiritual truth. And as a result of this spiritual truth, and as we choose to live from this perspective, the potential for transformation, transformative joy in life, if you will, is unlimited. Let's use the wisdom as we commit to this that is inherent within each of us to be a conscious participant of the transformation that's taking place in our life, as life, in life itself. As we choose and commit to offer our light to everyone, as Marianne Williamson has told us before, we then give permission for others to share theirs back. I had that experience Friday morning as I gave my light there on Lloyd Avenue in West Hollywood at probably 7:46 a.m. I gave permission, whether it was conscious or not, whether the lovely lady was intending to do that or not, for her to share it back to me. Marianne Williamson speaks about this in the poem that we've all heard many times, and we're going to hear it again right now. And I want you to hear it anew from this perspective of shining your light from this moment forward. Now, so often Nelson Mandela gets credit for this poem because he read it at his, I believe it was his inauguration, but wherever he read it, he didn't write it. Marianne did. And so listen to it anew in this moment. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear, which is the contradiction of faith, by the way, is that we are powerful beyond measure. It's our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? The truth is, actually, who are you not to be? For you are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world, meaning those that you encounter in life. There's nothing enlightened or empowered about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. I'm editing this a bit. The spiritual truth is that we're all meant to shine just as children do. We have one shining in our presence right now, and she's inviting others around her to shine their light back as opposed to them shining their light to me. And so... which is what would be my preference at this time. But what she's telling us here is that we're all meant to shine as children do. That we were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. And she goes on to write and tell us this, it's not just in some of us. It's not just in your friends. It's not just in the family that you like. It's not just in those that you've had some exchange with. It's not just in those that you want to emulate and be. It's in all of us, is what she says. It's in everyone. And that as we let our own light shine, we consciously give other people permission to do the same, as I experienced on Friday. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Now think for just a moment, or allow Spirit to speak to you. How can you, from this moment forward, let your light shine in a greater way? So oftentimes, we think that we have to then go out and heal the world. And we do. But we don't heal the world by going out and healing the world. We heal the world by focusing inward. And begin the process of healing ourselves, and we heal ourselves by consciously allowing the divine that exists within us to be expressed through us. And then that reverberates out into the world that we live in, and healing must take place. We all practice a philosophy that says that which I put out must come back to me. Every Sunday morning in our affirmation, for as we consciously give, we say, that which I give returns to me multiplied abundantly. That's not magic. It's not hocus pocus. It's the way that the spiritual law of the universe works through us. That's the same whether we're giving cash or a credit card or food or our light or love or kind words. It's all the same. The intention that we put out in the universe returns to us multiplied abundantly always. But what we must do to experience that is to be open. It's not to put it out there and go, oh, wonder when that's going to happen. Oh, I don't know if I really believe this. Oh, hasn't really happened before. No. Our responsibility is to go, I've put it out there. Now come back to me, baby. And open your mind. And when I work with people in practitioner form, I say literally, I see you and you see yourself opening your arms, opening your mind, opening your heart, ready to embrace your good as it shows up. And then when it shows up, you lean into it and give it a heart-to-heart hug and feel its vibrational frequency. And love it and receive it and stay exchanged with it as long as it is a vibrational frequency fit. And the minute it's not, you release it with love and open yourself right back up to the next exchange. But so often what happens is we embrace and we take it and we're like, my good showed up. And you think, I'm never letting it go. And you hang on to it for 5 years or 10 years or whatever till it disintegrates before you. But that's not living in the flow of life. Living in the flow of life is embracing and experiencing and letting it go so more comes back as you let it go. So more comes back. And every time you stay in that exchange, just like waves in the water on the seashore moving in and out, but not in the same place, you're experiencing, expressing, and feeling and living from a place of abundance because your experience is reflecting the true nature of the divine, which you are, and your responsibility is to not deny it and hold it back, but to let it in. Let it in and then play with it. And then play more and more and more and more with it. We live in a universe that's filled with possibilities. But you and I are the only ones that control how those possibilities show up. And it's not control in that we control them, because control is delusional. We control it because we're in charge of how we open our minds. And so to the degree that we close our minds is the degree that we get to experience that which multiplies itself abundantly. Now, certainly other ways to experience the expansion of love in our life and giving is through affirmation and spiritual mind treatment and meditation and using the law of life itself. But it's also to know that it's not good enough just to know that the law of life works. I was in a meeting with a bunch of executives on Wednesday about the real estate office we have in Beverly Hills, and it's a new guy that we brought in to manage the place, and he's young, and he's vibrant, and he's full of life, and he's going to change the world, and I love it, right? And yet it's a lot to take in. And so we were talking about how do you put the spiritual principles of life to work without calling them spiritual principles. And he was using some quote that was the essence of the one that I love from Ernest Holmes. And in essence, and I said to him, well, let me tell you one of my favorite Ernest Holmes quotes. And he goes, who's Ernest Holmes? And I told him who it was. I said, it's information without application is hallucination. In other words, what we're being told there, what he was talking, I know it was fast. Do you want me to do it again slower? Information, knowledge, without application, putting it into play, is hallucination, right? In other words, it's psychotic, which is the same that's true for all of us. That if we're not using these principles of life in a way that's propagating good in our life, then we're hallucinating, right? Because we have the knowledge. And the reality is that we don't have the knowledge because we've come to class or we've put it in. We have the knowledge because the knowledge exists within us. You come to class to eliminate everything that is contradictory to that truth. You go into spiritual practice to eliminate everything that's telling you that you're less than. It's not about giving yourself knowledge. It's about letting go of everything that isn't in alignment with your wisdom and knowledge. That's why it's so important to take classes, right? To come here. That's why it's so important to be with a practitioner, to work. It's about constantly fine-tuning that which is within you and eliminating everything that isn't. But this morning, I want to give you some practical approaches on how to express your light in a greater way than ever before. There's 12 of them. They're really easy. But I think it's a good thing to hear these because it's a catalyst to remind us that we're a choice at all times on how to engage in the world so that the experience that we have is equal to what I had with that beautiful woman on Friday morning. It's this. Give someone a compliment. Tell them something nice about themselves that you've noticed. And then they'll feel great, and so will you. Participate in someone in your life's hobbies. If you want to make someone feel good, join in doing something they enjoy. You might find that you like it too. That could be gardening. It could be shopping. It could be woodworking. It could be cooking. It could be dancing. Whatever the case is, engage and give of yourself in a way that's a little beyond your comfort zone with someone, which will bring joy to those individuals and share the light that is within you, within them, and good will be made manifest as a result of that. Help someone with a problem. Honor them by giving them a hand. You never know when you'll be able to help someone out of a jam. How often in the world that we live in do you see people open a door and walk in it and let it shut behind them? As opposed to using the simple grace and elegance and politeness of holding the door for someone else. And then when that happens, if they say thank you, say you're welcome. Just simple kindness. Another way to help others is to pray for or with them. In our teaching, we're not one where so often we're like, you got to pray for everybody around you. And yet, we do know that by speaking spiritual truth, And because we're all one, that which we speak must have impact. Make someone food and share that with them. Everyone loves a good meal. Show them love by making them something great. Plan a trip with them, which doesn't mean that you have to get on an airplane or get in a car and go for a long journey. It could just simply be taking them for coffee or going to the museum or asking them how you can help them to go somewhere that's fun, to the beach. Do a devotional together. Grow in faith together with people that you love. You may not like the term devotional. I had a little issue with it when I read it here the first time. But what that meant to me was if you feel like you get value here or anything that you do where you're spiritually nurtured, take a friend. They don't even have to be a friend. Just ask them if they would like to grow and do that. Give someone a gift. Sometimes the simplest way is the best way. Give someone a gift that you know that they will enjoy. Or their pet treats. People always, their pets like treats. Right, Ann? Right? Give them loving advice. The best way to honor someone would be to simply give them good advice. Do it in love, and you may be able to honor them for the long run. And one of the best gifts ever is to simply just listen. And give people a break when whatever's going on in life may be getting on your nerves. It's the best way to honor them. And last is to be loyal. Be loyal to those you love, and in return, they will be loyal back to you. But one of the greatest gifts that we can give ourselves in terms of loyalty is to be loyal to ourselves on our spiritual journey. Be loyal to yourself that when you get up in the morning, you know who you are as a divine being. Be loyal and committed to yourself that as you walk the pathway of your life on a daily basis, that you pick 1 or 10 of these and do this. But most importantly, be loyal to yourself to live from a place of truth. Be loyal to yourself that when you lay your head down on the bed at night, say thank you. Be loyal to yourself that you engage in gratitude for the love that you have or have had in your life. We have very, very, very blessed lives, ladies and gentlemen. You know that, right? Very. No matter what crap may be going on in your life, we have very, very blessed lives. I was counseling someone recently who was just freaked out about their life, and I said to them, would you, and for me to say this is a lot, not a lot for me to say it because it's hard for me to do this. I said to them, would you stop talking? And they finally stopped talking. I said to them, when you woke up this morning, do you have your health? He said, yes. I said, did you have food and nourishment for your body? They said, yes. I said, do you have your mental health? They said, yes. I said, do you have a roof over your head? They said, yes. I said, then what are you really missing in life? Doesn't mean you don't want more, but what are you really missing in life? I said, if you have all of that, you have a very, very, very blessed life. A large percentage of the population that walk our planet do not have those things. And they may only have 1 or 2 of them. And so make a choice today that you are going to offer your light to everyone, that you choose to have a magnetic personality, not from a perspective that's charming, from a perspective that you're very clear that that which you are putting out into the universe must be magnetized and returned back to you. Do that from a place that reflects your divinity, your peace, your power, your beauty, your joy, your light, your life, your love, and your wisdom. And in so doing, your humanity will benefit. I offer my light to everyone, including you, and I gladly and consciously and purposely and lovingly receive it back, knowing that life gets better because of that exchange. Have a good day. Thank you. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Andy. Hello. Welcome back. Jamie's going to join us. Jamie was taking copious notes. I love that. So Jamie's going to sing for us again. I just want you to know if you would like to acquire some of Jamie's music, you can buy it in the back in the form of CD, correct? In the form of CD. So it's my honor and pleasure to welcome back to the Bema Jamie Lula and Andy Belling.
I don't know if anybody else noticed it when Keith was talking, but up here it says, "With you is the fountain of life. By your light do we see light." I thought it appropriate. Just to add to that message. Praise Jesus. Sometimes I forget where I come from. Sometimes I forget where I'm going to. Sometimes I get so confused I lose my way. Sometimes I know you feel the same. Then I remember there is nowhere that God is not. There is nowhere that God is not. There is nowhere that God is not. No, no, no. Everywhere I am, I know what I've got. Sometimes I believe in what I see. Sometimes I believe what I perceive. Sometimes I get so confused I lose my way. Sometimes I don't know what to say. Then I remember there is nowhere that God is not. Come on, y'all. There is nowhere that God is not. There is nowhere that God is not. No, no, no. Everywhere I am, I know what I've got. I forgot to pray, forgot to be still and know. Forgot to forgive myself until I forgave myself. Forgot to ask for help, I forgot to say a word. Forgot to believe in me, believe in my spirit well. Come on. Give it up, Randy. Then I remember there is nowhere that God is not. No, no, no. There is nowhere that God is not. There is nowhere that God is not. No, no, no. Everywhere I am, I know what I've got. Then I remember there is nowhere that God is not. There is nowhere that God is not. There is nowhere that God is not. No, no, no. Everywhere I am, I know what I've got. Everywhere I am, I know what I've got. Everywhere I am, I know what I've got.
The Lula man, Jamie Lula. Yeah. You can clap again, ain't nothing wrong. Come on, shine your light to Jamie Lula. So now we have an opportunity to shine our light in the form of financial good. So if we can have our ushers come forward, please. So I just want to let you know that your opportunities to give of your conscious giving of your good to the Center for Spiritual Living in Los Angeles has expanded a little bit right now. Let me go through what they are. You have cash, check, endowment, jewelry. No, I was kidding. But property, exactly, right? And as well as you have an opportunity to give through our app, which is on the App Store, CSL-LA. You go in the App Store and there's a donate button there, or through our website, CSL-LA.org, and click on donate. As well as you can see Reverend Edward in the back, we have a new wireless credit card machine. So just know that. But what I want you to know about that credit, which takes MasterCard, Visa, American Express, and Discover. And so what I want you to know is the machine no longer prints out your name on your credit card slip. That's due to, as the woman kept saying on Friday in our 4 conversations, because the bad people can get it. So, but I so bad wanted to say to her, we're metaphysicians. We don't call them bad people. We call them criminals. No. Anyway, so what that means is there's a sheet that whoever's taking your card will just need to document that we have it so that we can take your donation and report it to you at the end of the year for tax purposes. So those are your ways to give. So let's take the joy of the laughter that we just shared and know together that along with that which we're giving is multiplying itself abundantly, and that we're giving in a way that expands our good and our understanding and propagates good as this community itself, and we continue to grow. And so please take that which you're giving and place close to your heart if you feel good. I'm going to not place my phone because I gave in a credit card for him, so I'm going to place my hand there today. And repeat after me. Conscious giving is a gift.
Conscious giving is a gift.
I gladly celebrate giving this gift.
I gladly celebrate giving this gift.
I give with love and trust and know that not only does my life, but the life of CSL-LA benefits greatly and propagates good. Therefore, with the faith of God, I know it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. Thank you.
'Tis the gift to be simple, 'tis the gift to be free, 'tis the gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend, we shan't be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning, we come round right.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. So several announcements for you all today. Before I dive into those, just to let you know that please feel free to join us after the service in the back. You know my standard shtick. So there are less flour products today. There is some angel food cake, and there should be a fruit platter or two. So I now have fruit for all of you as well, so enjoy that. And there's calf and decaf and other stuff. If for some reason the fruit platter is not out, we can let somebody know, and it's out there. Okay, good, because we were having them cut it, and we'll start having that. All right, so here's what's happening. A huge thank you to our practitioner of the day, Reverend Lenore Edney, for your great meditation. Our illuminator, the one and only Matt Fonda. Yes. I'll bow for Matt Rice. Our setup team, Jesus Ernesto Reis, Bob Zwolinski, Erwin and Rolando here. A big thank you to Andy Belling, our co-music director, who loves to be here, but we love having him here even more. Andrew Belling! Yes. And the one and only Lula, Jamie Lula. You can follow him on social media, as well as purchase his music in the back. Please feel free to do that. Our board member on duty today is Dr. Sheila Hughes. If you have any constructive criticism that you would like to give her, or just a high five or a celebrate, or tell her something you like about what's taking place here, she will avail herself in the back after the service as well. Announcements. This Wednesday morning, we will continue with our online guided meditation. Last Wednesday was a doozy. Let me just tell you, it was fantastic. I forgot to hit the record button, so you won't get it. However, I was going to end my message with it today, and I got carried away on something else. So we'll save that for next week. But please join us. You can get that information on our website and or the weekly e-newsletter that goes out on Tuesday. If you're not receiving those, you can sign up in the back at the welcome table. That can happen. Friday morning's dance class continues. It's called The Spirit of Dance. We welcome all levels there. It's from 11:30 to about 1:45 at the Hollywood Dance Center with the one and only Walter Painter. It's jazz formation as a rule, some type. It's great stretching. It's a great exercise. It's a great workout, even though he lets us know it's not about exercise. It's about releasing the spirit, the light within you through dance. It's a lot of fun. As I had said before, watch on our website. We've uploaded some recordings of meditations if you'd like those, as well as our promo video. The new class starts this Wednesday night. It's called Prayer. What, When, How. Who's planning on coming? Hold on. It's here. It'll be outside at 7:15. So raise your hands again if you're planning on coming. I love it. Sign up with Edward in the back, please, so we have your email and your phone number. Now, let's see if we increase the numbers. Because I'm committed to growing this community, I'm assuming that you guys are committed to growing this community, and which means that we have to grow ourselves first. I've not asked permission from the board to do this. It's an executive decision. I've committed to giving you these 4-week classes for free, which means I don't get paid either. But that's part of my heart and my soul to offer my light to each one of you. I want to see us continue to grow. And the way to do that, we know in our teaching, is through prayer. We're not just going to learn about affirmative prayer. We're going to look at prayer as a concept, where it came from, how to use modern day prayer, how we use it in our everyday life. It's going to be a great 4-week class. So I look forward to seeing each and every one of you here. I'd love to fill that room. I hope that caused others to say you wanted to be here. 7:15 Wednesday night. You can park in the parking lot, or it's free on La Brea. It's about a 2-hour class, and it's interactive. Just know that. Yeah. All right, so we've got some updates that are taking place with Congregation Kol Ami, the center that we share space with today. Please also know in your affirmative daily prayer work, or however you do your spiritual practice, so let's send light and love to Rabbi Denise Egger, one of her dear friends and one of her co-rabbinical students. When she was a student, died tragically Wednesday in a plane crash. And so she's a little shaken by that, to say the least. And tomorrow night they have their big annual gala, so all love, which will take place in this room. So all love and support we can send to her and them. That would be great. On June 5th, in this part of the building, we're doing an event with Kol Ami. It's a charity event where we're packing food to be sent to the children of Syria. It's going to be a fun night with people, so plan on that. As I said, in the next week or so, we'll start sending to you what we're looking to have donated. That can either come in the form of goods itself, or there'll be some wish links at Amazon and Bed Bath Beyond and places like that. The picnic is booked. July 8th, we're having the old school LACRS picnic in exactly the same location it used to take place in Cheviot Hills. So watch for details on that. You can see Sandy Rovetta. If you have any questions on that, Sandy, raise your hand, please. And she can talk to you about what that's starting to look like and what that will in fact be. And we'd love to have lots of people. We can have up to 144, right? That's what we bought permit for? Yeah, so know that we can have that many. Membership meeting is taking place May 20th in this room. If you're a member, know that we need to have you here, and or if you're not going to be here, we need you to sign a proxy, that you give your proxy over to another member to vote for you. We do need to have a quorum by either people in person or a proxy. So if you know you're not going to be here and you're a member, please sign the proxy form at the table, at the welcome table, and make sure you put your email address clearly. The meeting will not be just for members. We're calling it a congregational meeting to share with you the state of the affairs of the center. However, only members can vote on things that need to be voted for. So you'll see more information about that in the weekly newsletter. Are there any questions on that piece? Good, I've been clear then. right? That's not always the case at this part in the service, so I'm glad I am today. So I've had a little less caffeine this morning, so. I think it's a good thing. How about you? Yeah, okay. I don't know, I'm going to get less next Sunday, but there's been less today. All right, let's close with the spiritual mind treatment. And before I end, will all the practitioners come up at the end, please? Just after the service. Thank you. So let's close knowing today that the joy of life itself has been experienced in this room today. It's known as the community of the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles. And so what I know for each and every one of us as we move beyond these four walls today, that we are centered. We are living from our spiritual nature, and we are doing it in Los Angeles. And the way that that transpires is by consciously choosing to shed and share our light with everyone. In our mind's eye right now, we see that taking place just in this room alone. So we feel the energy of that light as it grows and grows and grows. What's transpiring is our divinity is being made manifest into outward form. And so we move beyond this experience that we've shared for these 64 minutes this morning with a deep sense of gratitude for the opportunity to come together and be in the presence of life itself. And so it's from this place we move forward, giving more and more and more of our divinity to ourself. And in so doing, it's sharing it outward to humanity, honoring the divinity in all, as all. We take a moment and remind ourselves to bless Jack Cahill on his journey. For those that knew him, we take a moment and bring him into our mind's eye. Beautiful, loving, kind, generous man. And take that energy